Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Bible Talk with CGM. Now, I know, it's been a long time. I haven't done one of these in a while, but I think this episode should make up for it. Today we're going to take a deep dive into a very complicated topic, COVID-19 and Revelation. If you've read Revelation, you know that it's not an easy read whatsoever. In fact, this passage alone has created so much debate and divide within the Christian community. In today's video, I won't be trying to figure out how the events of Revelation will take place, but rather, are we on track for these events to happen soon? Many believe that the world will end soon, while others are skeptical. This will be the discussion for today's video, and I hope you'll enjoy it. Now, typically in these videos, I take on more of a preacher approach, using the Bible to help make our lives better, but this time, I will be using the Bible in a way that I haven't done before.
Tonight, the news coming in that highly contagious variant of COVID already here in the U.S. The first case now in New York. A man in his 60s in Saratoga Springs, New York. No history of travel, which means this is community transmission and that it's here. At least 4 states now. That variant first seen in the UK, and news coming in just tonight of an emergency lockdown there. The kind of lockdown not seen since last spring there because of this variant fueling the virus across the UK.
The new year is not slowing down the unprecedented spread of coronavirus. In fact, the death toll in the U.S. passed 350,000 over the weekend after the deadliest month so far. COVID-19 took the lives of more than 77,000 people in America in December alone.
And you see the numbers across the state. Again, this makes the point that that variance is due to the behavior of those communities.
It is very apparent that COVID-19 has affected everyone in the world in one way, shape, or form. It's forced many of us to stay home away from the ones we love and has forced millions not to go to church. Let's take a look at Revelation and how COVID-19 can possibly play a role in these complicated events. To open Revelation 15, John writes, "Then I saw another sign in heaven, great and amazing, 7 angels with 7 plagues, which are the last, for with them the wrath of God is finished." It is clear here that John is talking about 7 diseases, or in his words, plagues. These will be the last, and it will finish the wrath that the world was forced to deal with. Now let's take a look at plagues in the past to see if COVID-19 can be one of these specific plagues that John is talking about. And if it is, then what plague is it? Is it the first plague, the second plague, or possibly the last? Now let me tell you this, there have been plenty of pandemics in world history. According to History.com, there have been 16 pandemics. That doesn't even just consider plagues and diseases. That is the pandemics. 16 in world history, taking place after the birth of Christ. Now, I'm no math expert, but I'd say 16 is a heck of a lot more than 7. Now, I feel like these diseases would have to impact the entire world in order for them to be classified as one of these 7 plagues. This would mean that they would have to be taking place after 1492, when the Europeans actually started colonizing the Americas. Now, I know that there were people on the continent beforehand, but for it to be worldwide, there would have to be some sort of way to spread it through possibly trade or travel. Now, the first one of these pandemics that affected the entire world was the first cholera pandemic of 1817, which killed 1 million people in Russia and 150,000 around the rest of the world. We also saw the Spanish flu pandemic of 1918. This resulted in 50 million deaths. The flu spread all over the globe without any effective drugs or vaccines to treat it. This threat disappeared by the summer of 1919. Now, there have been many flu strains that have killed millions of people, but some might say that this was only because we didn't have a lot of technology or medical expertise to treat these strains of the flu. Nowadays, we do lose lives to the flu, but with a new flu shot every year, we have managed to slow the spread from the flu strains. Now, this is where things get interesting. Let's talk COVID-19. First off, COVID-19 is not the flu. It has killed 1.85 million people worldwide as of the recording of this video. The thing about COVID-19 is that in 2020/2021, we have a ton of medical expertise and tons of medical knowledge about diseases. But yet, this disease is quite literally kicking us hard. Yes, I mean, we do have a vaccine that may slow the spread of this deadly virus, but we don't know for sure how effective it's going to be. We have had other diseases like H1N1 and Ebola that we were able to keep under control and not form a worldwide pandemic, but COVID is a totally different monster. With the disease ever evolving and doing so at an alarming rate, with this new mutation, will we ever truly get through this? Is this one of the 7 plagues? Well, here's my answer. Drum roll, please. I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't think anybody knows, and here's why. God is not easy to understand whatsoever. If you ask God for his plan, it is very unpredictable.
God's plan.
Now, the results will be the ones that are meant to be, of course, but you can't always predict God's direction for your life. Now, if we can't even guess God's direction in our own lives, how are we possibly going to guess what he's going to do to the end of the world, and by what means will he do it? It's almost impossible.
That's impossible!
God works in mysterious ways, and these are ones that we may not ever fully understand. Let's look at the creation of the world, for example. God said he created the world in 6 days and rested on the 7th. However, in Psalm 90, we see 1,000 years in your sight are like a day that has just gone by, or like a watch in the night. Scientists say the universe was created billions of years ago. But does this mean that the Bible is wrong? No! There is a lot of symbolism and language in the Bible that we as humans were never really meant to understand. Honestly, I think that might be for the better, as we humans want to know everything, but sometimes that just isn't possible. In Revelation 16 it is written, "Behold, I," referring to Jesus, "am coming like a thief. Blessed is the one who stays awake, keeping his garments on, that he may not go about naked and be seen exposed." What this means is we will never truly know when the second coming may be, but you better be ready for whenever it is, because it can happen in the blink of an eye. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Bible Talk with CGM. Yes, I know it wasn't my typical preacher approach. I took a more analytical approach to the Bible. I know some of you have been asking for that kind of approach, so this is why I'm bringing this to you. And next one, we will have more of a preacher approach type video, but this one I wanted to make it a little bit more unique. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll catch you all next time. Peace!